for Shake, Rattle, and Troll, a show for the serious fisherman, as well as the novice looking for tips from the pros. Shake, Rattle, and Troll is brought to you by Bill Luke Dodge Chrysler Jeep. Now, here's your host, saltwater fisherman and tournament pro, Don McDowell.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm Don McDowell. Welcome to Shake, Rattle, and Troll today. Hope everybody's having a good time. I don't know what we're going to do for naps today because NASCAR, the NRA 500,
Yep.
Yeah, NRA, ran last night at Texas Motor Speedway. Good race. Hey, welcome to the show today. This is the time of the season that we kick off the saltwater side of life, and we're going to be talking about that. I want to welcome our special guest, David Sparza from the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. Thanks for coming down this morning.
Thanks, Don.
I have to ask, what is your current rank?
My rank technically is I'm a past captain, so that's what it is.
A PC?
PC, yeah. And I actually am a Coast Guard captain. I have my license. So.
Okay, nice. And, of course, JK's in the house. I understand you were busy yesterday up at Arizona Game and Fish Commission meeting.
Yeah, it was an interesting morning up there.
Indeed. Before we get into that, here's what we're going to do today. We've got Captain Bill that runs the Malahini. He, Captain Mike, Captain Bill run the Malahini three-quarter-day sport boat out of H&M Landing. And we'll talk to him right after the first break. Catherine Miller from H&M Landing, it is the oldest and premier sport fishing landing over on the West Coast. We'll talk about that. Day of the Docks is coming up next weekend. And then get James Guggenauer at 8:30, as always. We'll have our Rim Country fishing report. And unfortunately, about the 7:55 today, we have 4 fallen soldiers on roll call today. But back to you, John. What was the long and short of the commission meeting yesterday?
The long and short of it is that they were the hunt set guideline approvals for sheep, for deer, those tags that were had not been drawn yet.
Cheap. Is that like a gypsy thing?
It's a gypsy thing, yes.
And I want to thank you for the ACU name tag, Hungarian Gypsy Foundation.
Your Gypsy Federation.
Oh, it's a federation.
It's inclusive, yes.
Bear with me on this, Dave.
Okay.
It's a chicken thing.
Yes.
Well, we'll get into that in the second hour.
It was a little weird to see the commission meeting yesterday and having only 4 seats filled.
I understand Commissioner Chairman Husted resigned.
He did resign.
What is the process for replacing?
That's an interesting question because right now Vice Chair John Harris potentially should be escalated to that of chair. And they could have a unfilled seat for a brief period of time, or the governor could see fit to replace him with somebody else. I don't think that'll happen because he's only got about 6 months left in his term, or 8 months left in his term. The
Commissioner Harris?
Husted term.
Okay. Wow. I understand. I heard from you as well, and some grumblings on the McDowell Mountain Preserve on the no hunting issue or the hunting ban. Is that back around again? And I think the big question is, Michael Mayer is spearheading this particular drive.
Michael Mayer is the sole and only driving source behind Scottsdale not wanting hunting in the McDowell Sonoran Preserve. So it's an issue that we're going to have to deal with. They're attempting to circumvent it through various procedures now, citing different things. And the biggest one was the economic boon potential. If we turn the McDowell Sonoran Preserve from that to a park, import a bunch of Bambis so that people who are in the Phoenix area can go out and see actual mule deer.
Well, according to the Arizona Game and Fish survey, we have a healthy breeding population, let's say, of deer, javelina, and other
that we do. From what I've heard, and specifically, I think it's because Mr. Mayer, wherever he chooses to hike, and there are claims that he makes, in which he says he hikes over 1,000 miles each year in this McDowell.
He's a pretty big guy for all the hiking he claims he does.
I would say that he qualifies as what we'll call beefy tees, rather than the svelte figure that somebody who hikes 1,000 miles should exhibit. But, we'll get into it later, but there's He could use a few more LB minuses. Let's put
This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Never mind.
This is my rifle. This is my gun.
No,
Okay.
no. We're not going down that road.
Thank you.
Call it Shirley.
Charlene. Yep. Great movie. Bad ending. Okay. We'll follow up on Mr. Mayor. Quite frankly, I'm getting tired of his diatribe in my backyard, and
He's grasping at straws at this point.
well, they are. I don't know whether they're basically illiterate, can't read the survey, the science, or don't understand English when the department says we do allow hunting. We're not going to lift or put a ban on it. So,
Well, particularly with the McDowell Sonoran Preserve expanding their purchases of state trust land, they just completed the 8,000 additional acres going north. Sooner or later they're going to run out of land.
well, can't we go out there and circumvent the system or engage in the system, buy some of the land and turning it into a hunting preserve?
I was thinking what we could do is have a small arms place that we could do right at the edge of it, purchase the next set of state trust land right where it borders up to the north end of the McDowell Sonoran Preserve,
Right.
put in a firing range and all that stuff.
Nice. Okay. Well, moving right along. Dave, thanks for coming down. I know you're a busy guy with the Coast Guard Auxiliary and are engaged in a lot of stuff. I will tell you, I did have Bill Bass Days did have a Coast Guard inspection on my vessel. I passed. No zip ties involved, and John did a great job. And I point that out because I think it's important. The older we get, I think the more complacent we get, and the more times you do stuff, you take it for granted that you're doing all the right stuff. And I wasn't actually 100% ready for the inspection, but we did it, and I passed. And I had some things wrong.
Sure.
I had my fire extinguisher in the dry well. Right behind my seat. It wasn't mounted yet, and was tangled up in some bow rope. And
Shame on you.
Well, and then John was kind enough to point out that I needed a red one or a white one, and I purposely went to the Home Depot and bought a gray one so it color coordinated with the overall color theme of my vessel.
Of course.
The wrap.
Yeah, the wrap by Fast
Exactly.
Track, and we've got the aluminum checker plate thing going on, and some hues of gray, and he goes, "No, you need a red one." I go, okay.
Yeah, vessel safety checks are very important.
And I need to mount it where I can reach it.
Yeah, quickly. We had about a month ago at Saguaro Lake, we had a really bad boat fire at the fuel dock. 2 people were hurt really, really bad. I don't know all the circumstances around it, but from what I can understand, they had just finished fueling, and there was a huge explosion that blew 2 people in the water. There was a young girl that was burnt pretty bad, and they owe everything to the marina people that were working the dock. They had the fire out in a couple minutes before the sheriff even got there, and got the people out of the water and emergency people, coming on the way. Good training to around that fuel dock. But anything can happen anytime on a boat. It's Murphy's Law out there.
That's one thing people really need to take into consideration is the unexpected consequences that happen from an action. And that's what I would never know half the stuff that I've learned from you guys. So
Sure. And it's a simple thing, for us to look at your boat 15, 20 minutes on the average, and then you're good to go, or there's something wrong with it.
We timed John. It was about 9, right at 9 minutes.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah. And you know me, I was kind of screwing with him a little bit, but
No, you done?
yeah, he said, "Do you have an audible device?" I went, "Yeah, look out!" Yeah. Apparently, that's not on the list.
Well, I always say that's why you bring your girlfriend, so you just give her a squeeze and she yells.
Moving right along.
He'd fit.
Yeah, anyway, back to the serious note. Vessel safety checks. It gets another pair of eyes looking at your boat. You're used to looking at everything. You get complacent like you're talking about. Somebody else comes on board that's used to doing this, and all of a sudden they see this is out of place, that's out of place. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? It's a good educational exchange.
It is. And getting back, I'll use myself as an example, but, you do stuff long enough, you think, I got it. Yeah. I understand the rules, but you know what? Over a period of time, things change.
Right.
And taking the new boating safety class, I took one a couple of years ago, and I was amazed at the rule changes, especially over on the Colorado River.
Oh, yeah.
With that, so... Anyway, we'll get back on that here in a minute, but we're going to flip into a break. Thanks some of our sponsors. I am Don McDowell and
John Golazar.
Dave Esparza.
We'll be right back. Yeah, man, we're back. Okay, as promised, we're going to talk about the proud tradition of dependable service off the sport fishing vessel, the Malahini. Captain Bill is on the phone. Good morning, Captain. How are you, sir?
Hey, good morning, Don. How you guys doing today?
We're good. So far, we've got a blow coming in from California. It's supposed to hit late tonight, drive the wind speed up and the temperature down. I want to thank you personally for that, but...
oh, come on now.
Yeah, I know. You live in the land of nice. But, we're kicking off the saltwater side of life today, and I want to welcome you back to Shake, Rattle, and Troll. You've been a big part of it throughout the saltwater fishing season, but the Malahini's always there. You're always going out. And how long have you guys been over there on the Malahini at this point?
We've actually owned the boat for the past 7 years. Before that, a gentleman named Tim Green owned it. That's who we purchased it from. And it's been up and down. Past couple of years have been a rough season as far as yellowfin and bluefin and albacore and things like that. But for the most part, fishing's fishing.
Yeah,
we go out, we catch what's going to bite.
Let me introduce you. We've got John Golazar here.
Good morning.
From the Arizona Deer Association. He's picking up some of the nuances of our sport. And Captain Dave Esparza from the United States Coast Guard is here as well.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. How y'all doing today?
Good. I want to know about all these tuna we can catch this summer.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah, buddy.
With regards to the tuna, like I alluded to earlier, it was a tough season, for the overnight and for the overnight guys, pretty much. We're looking at with what's been going on here this spring, things have vastly improved from last year. We're hoping to get into this albacore by, I'm going to say, first, second week of May, if they decide to show up.
What about Bill, what's the prognosis for the yellowtail moving in? Historically, they'll come in about the third week of April, and we're right around the corner from that.
Well, we've been we've been fishing yellowtail now for about a good month and a half, almost 2 months. With I'm not going to say limited success, but with better success than we've had in the past. Boats are getting out with 20 to 30 people a trip, and we're coming back with anywhere from on a good day, and not just my boat, but the 3/4 day fleet as a whole. Coming back on a good day with 60, 70 mixed fish. Slow days, you might have one. You pin off the correct school and the right school that wants to bite, you'll do very well. If you don't, basically, you watching everybody else around you catch yellowtail.
Been there, done that many times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, going out on the Malahini is always an adventure. Captain, talk a little bit about the history of the Malahini, where it came from, what it used to be.
The boat was built in 1941, and it was an old World War II PT boat, solid double-hull mahogany. And if you want to hear something really funny, we hauled out this year, and we scraped it down to the wood expecting to see, some sort of decay or something like that because the boat's so old. Once we got down to the hull itself, we looked at it, and we were amazed at how good of a condition that the hull was in. Looked like it was brand new.
Wow. Nice.
And it never saw, the boat itself never saw service. It was sold and brought to Oregon, and it was used as a yacht, if you will, for a number of years. In 1960, the boat came came down to San Diego. It was H&M Landing's first overnight boat, and it slept 59 people. You know, a lot of those were double bunks, but it slept 59 people. And then when H&M Landing bought the H&M 2 or H&M 1, I do believe, was a second overnight boat. They had 2. After that, some other boats moved in, and then they made the Malihini a 3/4-day local boat. And it had, you know, very good success, you know, just taking people out catching calico bass and rockfish and, you know, sand bass during June and July and things like that. Then they decided to make that run an island trip. And it worked out very well. You know, we fish the islands year-round now that we've got the okay from the United States, the Mexican government. They don't really bother us anymore. I'm not sure why that is, but amen to that, okay?
Well, we've had, you know, most of the listeners know with all the visas, the permits, and all the crap that they've been doing to you guys over there. It's just been an atrocity. I'm glad to see it lighten up just a tad.
Yeah, we're waiting to get final say-so from the Mexican government about what exactly they want us to comply with. We have no problems complying with what they're asking. We just want to know what exactly it is they want, you know?
Is there money involved?
Well, yeah. Here's the deal, John. We used to have permits, and the permits went away. You know, I mean, I'm talking about Mexico altogether. You have to always had to have a Mexican permit. And then when I go to Mexico, I didn't have to have a passport. I had to have a visa. They did away with the visa. Now I have to have a passport. Now you have to have your passport to get the visa. And they were trying to do the same thing to the sport fleet. And where Captain Bill and the Malihini at H&M Landing, you go out to the buoy 1, turn left. You're in Mexico.
Oh,
I mean, you're there. So
pretty much. Well, actually, Mexico is I want to say, from where we fish, we leave the point, you go straight south, 180 degrees. You travel 9.5, 10 miles, you're in Mexican waters.
So what did the whole permit or did the whole visa thing just evaporate, or is it on a hiatus at this point?
It's on a hiatus until we hear from Mexico as far as what they want. I don't believe that the Mexican visa will be required, but I don't know that for sure.
Cool. All right. So what basically, if we want to have a fun day over in San Diego and we jump in the truck and make a short drive over there, what do we need to do to go fishing on your boat, Captain?
There's actually 3 ways that folks get that, you know, your Arizona people, we love them to death. Most of, I'm going to say probably 35% of our passengers over the past 7 years have been from Arizona out here vacationing. We'd love to have you folks get on board with us. You can call H&M Landing at 619-222-1144, or you can go directly to the Malihini Sport Fishing website, and we actually put a blog up to keep our passengers informed of what's been going on the water. And that's Malihini, M-A-I-L-H-I-N-I, sportfishing.com. Click on the online booking tab there or check out the blog. You can also make your reservation that way, or you can just go to the H&M Landing website.
Now, we've got Day at the Docks coming up, which is a huge annual event to kick off the sport fishing season there, all 3 of the landings. But are you guys going to be running that particular day, or are you going to be in port so everybody can board the vessel and check it out?
Well, actually, I'm hoping we're running that day.
Nice.
But if not, yeah, we will be at the dock. We had a yellowtail jig iron seminar slated for the 21st with us sitting at the dock. But if the yellowtail is running, I'd rather us be out trying to capture some of them as opposed to sitting there doing nothing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good stuff.
I mean,
how many people?
For your anglers that aren't, you know, for the anglers that aren't that aggressive, June, July, we normally get into sand bass and barracuda and calico bass and things like that. But there has been a change regulation in California. The calico bass, any bass, whether it be a barb sand bass, a bay bass, the calico bass, sand bass. The length went from 12 inches to 14 inches. We don't really have that issue because we fish in Mexico, and most of the sand bass and calico bass that we catch are above 14 inches.
Okay, Captain, we need to stand down. Can you stay with us through the break?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Don McDowell, Captain Bill Wilkerson aboard the sport vessel Malahini, and
John Colazar.
And
Dave Esparza.
And we'll be right back. Okay, we are back. Thanks for hanging with us. We're enjoying the company of Captain Bill, Captain Dave, and JK.
Yeah, don't go captain on me.
That's a whole long ordeal.
Oh,
yeah.
I have been ordained by Dave. I am now Captain John.
Yeah, that'll get you a free cup of coffee right there. All right, back to you, Captain Bill. JK's got some questions during the break. Wanted to know approximately what the associated cost of fishing aboard the sport vessel Malahini is for a 3/4 day trip.
Please.
3/4 day trip. 3/4 day trip aboard the Malahini. It's $105 per adult and $95 for juniors and seniors. That's anyone under the age of 16.
Nice.
And over the age of? What's the senior qualification?
I do believe it's 55.
Oh, bingo.
Bingo.
Let's go.
Don and I are now officially on board.
We're leaving right now.
I do believe it's 55.
Warm up the
And
engine.
then your Mexican fishing permit is included in the price of both of those tickets as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You guys, a lot of people have this misconception about yellowtail fishing. A yellowtail is actually a member of the jack family. It is not a tuna. They get yellowtail and yellowfin mixed up. And it's kind of funny because when you try to tell them that, they look at you like you're crazy. No, it's a tuna. No, it's really not a tuna. It's a member of a mackerel family.
Uh-oh, I think I've been learned again. Educated?
Educated. Holy mackerel.
That's fishology.
Exactly. So when we say yellowtail, we mean the jack. We say yellowfin, which we did catch last year on our offshore trips. We had quite a few of them, but a lot more yellowtail than anything else last year, and that was a good thing. To me, that was a good sign of fish moving, of the smaller fish moving in and hanging around for a while, which was really a good thing. We ran full a lot during that time span.
Well, Captain Bill, help me out with JK. He's primarily an archery hunter, and I know I know he doesn't have any tuna rods, reels, or anything meaningful past a Zebco and a.
Excuse me, my ugly stick. Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
So, what's he going to do for gear when he gets there, since he doesn't have his own?
Right now, we've been fishing. We've been fishing yellowtail. These fish have been anywhere from 18 to 30 pounds.
Nice.
And we've had some bait fish, but not a lot. Most of the fish that we've been catching have all been on the yo-yo iron.
Nice.
And I'd say suggested setup or something like that. No lighter than 40 pounds.
Wow.
While these fish are brutes, they've been hurting people. Not like, they're going to put you. Well, what we mean by hurting people is rail you, and you can't. They won't let you get off the rail.
Well, that's one of my goals this year is to, John's kind of a manly man kind of guy, hunting, hiking, all that stuff. Drives a Prius, and we try to forgive that. But I would really like to see him just absolutely pinned to the rail, squealing like a 12-year-old schoolgirl. And those yellows will do that to you, John.
It can be done.
Yeah, 15, 18-pounder. You're toast.
I honestly remember when I was working aboard the producer, we were out on one day, and we ran into a school of bluefin.
Uh-oh.
I snapped 4 rods because I got railed.
Oh, yeah.
Those bluefin were mean. It was funny. The owner of the boat was running the boat that day, and he was looking at me.
Was that Ray? Were you working with Ray?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yes, sir. Ray Soviak. very, very, very fishy man.
Well, he was a hell of a hunter too. Ray was.
Yes, yeah. He lives up in Montana now.
I know that. Yeah,
smart man.
Mule deer and
shooting wolves.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of fun, I think.
Oh, my man.
Thank you, Bill. God, I love
we
that.
will send you over a smoke 'em if you got them SRT wolf shirt. What size do you wear, Captain Bill?
Extra large.
XL? Make a note of that.
Yes, sir.
PW. All righty. Cool.
Bill, one thing: do I have to bring my own gear, or do you supply gear for fishing?
If you don't have your own gear, H&M Lanyon office rents rods and reels for $15 for the day.
That would be Rick. We will introduce you face to face with Ricky over there. He's our go-to guy.
Brand.
What's the best time to come out? I want to come out. I want to go fishing.
Wednesday morning.
Honestly, I'd say anytime, because the boat itself fishes for fish. If one particular species is not biting, we fish for another species. That's the luxury you have on a 3/4 day trip. If you go overnight or something like that, there is no bottom. There's a bottom, but there is no bottom, if that makes sense. You can't run your line 3,000 feet. You follow what I'm saying?
I'm trying to figure out how any reel could have enough line on it to go down 3,000 feet, so I gathered that pretty quick. That
it's in fathoms.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're basically it's tuna do or die, and that's a good way to live. I'm going to say most of the time. You have those days where you go out and you come back with one tuna for 32 guys.
Yeah.
It's still, honestly, I believe it's not the amount of fish you catch. It's how good of a time you've had on that boat.
It's the experience.
You go out, and I'm speaking very biased here. People come out and get on my boat. They don't catch anything, but the crew has offered excellent customer service. The captain's very cordial. He engages himself with the passengers. I'm willing to bet you $100 that those folks come back again.
John, I think, gets it. Being an archery hunter, you can have a good trip, never sling an arrow.
Absolutely.
And it was a good trip.
Yeah, that's why they call it fishing, not killing fish.
Yeah, and hunting. Yeah. So you get it. All right. One final really big question: what is your prognosis for the migratory members of the tuna family, starting with the albacore, moving into the bluefin, wiping up the rear with the yellowfin and the big eyes?
I really wouldn't be surprised if we saw albacore next month. Honest to goodness, the water temperature for what we've been hearing down south as far as the yellowtail and everything else moving up the line here, I would not be surprised if we started to see, tuna here in the next month. I do believe that there is one boat that's planning an exploratory tuna trip 2 weeks from now. I don't remember the name of the boat. I think it was the Sea Adventure 2 or the producer. I'm not sure which one.
Yeah.
But I remember when we were running with Ray Sobiak. We do 2 or 3 of those trips a year. Just going out. Maybe we catch, maybe we don't. But we would go out and explore certain areas. Like the 1010 Trench, the 60 off the backside of the high spot there.
Yeah.
Yeah, things like that. But I think it's going to be a good year. I really do.
How many boats are the Taft, Bob and Chuck Taft running this year?
I do believe Chuck has 3 and Bobby has the Top Gun 80.
Okay.
Yeah, the Top Gun 80 is basically a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 day boat. They run anywhere from 1 day to 6.5 days.
Yep. Good stuff.
Chuck,
what are you hearing from the commercial fleet? Do you have any grumblings from those guys out of the G Street Pier?
No, we don't really talk to them very much. They're all. It's like the half-day guys don't talk to the 3/4 days. The 3/4 days don't talk to the overnight guys. The overnight guys don't talk to the multi-day boats. It's like each little individual community if there's fishing information that really needs to be shared, like fish moving up or this, that, one thing, the other, we have people that we actually talk to that are friends. I don't know anybody at G Street or anything like that.
Okay. Well, that's all good. Once again, thanks for playing along. We'll get a smoke 'em if you got 'em wolf shirt in the mail to you. And what's the best way to book a trip on the Malahini? Just call Rick at the landing.
Yeah, you can call 619-222-1144. That's landline to H&M Landing. Or you can go to their website, hmlanding.com, or, like I said before, MalahiniSportFishing.com. Or you can also check out the blog that's put up every day so you can plan your trip around, what's going to be going on.
Okay, and are you still doing the voice on the fish count? You still have the audio up there?
Yes, the audio is still up, and I do believe that number is 224-2800.
Okay. That's all good. Hey, we'll look forward to playing along with you at Day at the Docks, Captain Bill. Thanks for joining us today.
Appreciate the info.
Hey, you guys are very welcome. Don, are you coming down today at the Docks?
Right now that's on the bubble. I've got some other stuff to do, but I'm easily tempted. So
you're going, I'm going.
You going? You want to go?
I want to go.
All right. You guys have to look for me. I know I'll be there, and I'm not running a boat that weekend, so I'll be there probably between, I'm going to say, 12 and the end of the day.
Okay. Expect an email Monday, Tuesday. We'll get it sorted out. Captain Bill on the Malahini. Check him out, hmlanding.com or 619-222-1144. We'll be back. All righty, we're back. Good information on Captain Bill. John, I got to get you over on the Malahini. I mean, that's the way you start tuna fishing.
I figured it was.
And then you move into the day boats, day and a half, 2.5 day, 5, 10, 12, 14-day trips. Yikes.
5, 10, 14-day trips.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You've been there. You've done that. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, we'll start off with the
three-quarter. How good these trips are. You're out 12, 14 days, and they say, okay, we're going to wind it up and head back to port, and all of a sudden there's this big cloud of depression.
Sinks in. Yeah.
I don't want to go back.
We have to go home now?
I don't want to go home.
Commandeer the vessel.
Arr.
Yar, baby. Okay. All right, back to speaking of yar. Captain Dave, you have a Desert Valley boat training.
Yes.
So you can train JK to drive a boat.
I can. I just recently, about a year ago, I got my captain's license.
And which captain's license do you have?
I technically have a 6-pack license.
Nice.
At this time, I'm working towards my 50-ton. But in the meantime, I'm taking classes through the National Safe Boating Council. The last class I took was close quarter boat drills. So I teach people how to put their boat in the slip and take it out without hitting the sides, the front, the back, anything else.
That sounds like
Rubbins. I like that close quarter thing.
That sounds like Rubbins racing.
Yeah. And then in 2 weeks, I go to Ohio for 3 days. I'm taking open water boat handling and rescue with the National Safe Boating Council.
Sweet.
So those are some good things to have under your belt, and it's good training to give to anybody that wants it.
This is such an oxymoron. Captain Dave's Desert Valley boat training.
We have more boats per capita in this state than any other state in the union. That no burn-up pickup trucks.
About 160,000 registered boaters in the state of Arizona.
That's so amazing to me.
I was told once that if everybody put their boat in the water at the same time, you would have 1/3 of an acre of water to yourself.
Wow. That's not
1/3 of an acre.
That's like your backyard.
Well, we're looking at
not even
basically looking at that watercraft increasing the watercraft fees an additional $5 to fight quagga mussels and AIF.
Yes, that's bad.
Oh, is that
mussels.
Don't move a mussel?
Don't move
thing?
a mussel, and it is now pull your plug or pay the fine. It's real simple.
Right.
So.
I feel the religious revival starting here.
Yes, you get me on quagga mussels. We're trying to figure. Mark Townsend brought up. Well, can't we just make a pate out of them?
Wouldn't that be sweet?
Yeah,
they're horrible.
They are. They're nasty little boogers. Okay, on the boating safety class, how does one sign up for a boating safety class other than the court-appointed class that sometimes is given out at...
We do have a lot of court-appointed people, and we also like to see novice boaters or experienced boaters. There's nothing wrong with getting refreshed. But to sign up for our class, all you do is call 480-822-7855.
Do you have an online address?
The online, that takes you right to our website where you can sign up online with that. That's our, what's that number called, June? Magic Jack phone number that takes you right to our website.
Jack, yeah.
Yeah, this takes that phone number will take you right to our website where you can sign up for the class. And then once you sign up online, it emails us and says, hey, we've got a student for the class, and away we go.
Good.
Our class holds 20 people, and we fill them up on a monthly basis.
Is there a fee associated with it?
The Coast Guard class is $20, so it's very minimal.
What is it? Minimal.
Well, the Peoria Justice Court, I don't remember what that was. I think it was more than $20. I had to take that one once.
Uh-oh.
Was that pre-required by the judicial system?
Actually, no. I was guilty of blowing the buoys, but I was found guilty on a technicality. Actually, the buoy was 30 yards up on the beach. They forgot to move it, and I went blowing in there, got a ticket, and
went that down like the Eagle Sanctuary?
No, actually, it was going in on the north side of the tin lane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I knew the buoys were there, but they got rock buoy. You have to look at this. There's rock buoys, no wake buoys, all these buoys, and then there's buoys up on the rocks. And I'm going. I slowed down, made a decision that okay, I'm good. Throttle back up, and I was bad.
Yes.
And I had to go down and see Judge Anderson at that time, and I understand Judge Anderson has moved along, and we have another justice that I haven't met yet, thank God.
Nor do you want to.
No.
No, and the judge was cool about the whole thing. Roger and I, we were 40 minutes with my defense presentation. We appropriated some Ally signal satellite time, real-time satellite imagery, charts, graphs, waypoints, and the judge looked at me and said, Mr. McDowell, are you finished? I said, yes, Your Honor, my defense rests. He said, I have to tell you, that is the most well-presented no-wake violation defense I've ever seen. What day do you want to take your class? How do you want to pay your fine? What? Says you're done. The fine was $85, and I can't remember what the class was. And it was an all-day class.
Yeah, it's 8 hours.
And I went there with the chip on my shoulder, mumble, gripe, bitch, moan. I was framed. And the stuff you learn was amazing.
Sure.
And in between that one and then...
you're lucky he didn't send you to my class.
Ooh.
Ooh. I don't remember.
Captain Dave.
But I went out since and took another one in Arizona Game and Fish.
Yeah, good people.
It seems like the rules change about every 4 years.
Sure they do. And people don't understand that.
Well, what we do here is not what we have to do over on the Colorado River system.
That's correct, because you have federal waterways there, navigable waters. So it all changes. Then you have the multi-jurisdiction thing.
How many? Are you up to 8 yet?
Yeah, it's something like that. I can't remember the total, but you got the California side, the Arizona side, you got Game and Fish, you got California Wildlife, you got the Coast Guard Auxiliary, Sheriff's Departments, everybody's there.
Okay, and what is your Coast Guard, U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary stance on AIS, aquatic invasive species, plugs, clean, drain, and dry protocol?
Correct. In fact, I have to go to Lake Pleasant this week with my boat. I was going to do a patrol at Saguaro Lake the following week, and I've been advised to stand down to make sure there's no quagga mussels on my boat. So I can't even move my boat from one lake to another without...
Well, can't you clean, drain, and dry your boat?
Oh, sure, you can, but there's always that chance.
I will share the protocol with you.
Yeah, there's always that chance. You might have one of them little critters hiding somewhere in one little drop of water, and you drop it in Saguaro Lake or Canyon Lake or Apache, and then bang, they're there.
Are you flushing your boat?
Yes.
With
flush the engines. You got to use hot water. It's supposed to be over 135 degrees.
140.
140, right around there to clean it. And I have a chemical that I use to clean the hull, and spray down the trailer and everything with.
409 works well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So any strong detergent is going to help get those critters out of there.
Nice.
But they are ugly.
Well, we need to get to roll call. Unfortunately, today we have 4, and this first one. We'll start off with Air Force Captain James M. Steele. Died April 3rd, 2013, serving during Operation Enduring Freedom. 29 years old, of Tampa, Florida. Was assigned to the 77th Fighter Squadron, Shaw Air Force Base, South Carolina. Died April 3rd in a crash of an F-16 near Bagram Airfield in Afghanistan.
Army Staff Sergeant Christopher M. Ward, 24, of Oak Ridge, Tennessee, assigned to the 5th Squadron, 7th Cavalry Regiment, 1st Armored Brigade Combat Team, 3rd Infantry Division, out of Fort Stewart, Georgia. He died April the 6th in Kandahar, Afghanistan, of wounds suffered in a car bombing in Zabul, Afghanistan.
Army Specialist Declan M. Santos died April 6, 2013, serving during Operation Enduring Freedom. 24 years old, of San Jose, California, assigned to the 5th Squadron, 7th Cavalry Regiment, 1st Armored Brigade Combat Team, 3rd Infantry Division, Fort Stewart, Georgia. Died April 6th in Kandahar, Afghanistan, of wounds suffered in a car bombing in Zabul, Afghanistan. Also killed were Specialist Wilbur A. Robles Santos and Staff Sergeant Christopher M. Ward.
Army Specialist Wilbur A. Robles Santa was 25 years old, of Juncos, Puerto Rico, assigned to the 5th Squadron, 7th Cavalry Regiment, 1st Armored Brigade Combat Team, 3rd Infantry Division. Again, Fort Stewart, Georgia. Died in the same car bombing incident there in Zabul, Afghanistan. These guys, give them your thoughts and prayers to their family, their friends. They will be remembered as soldiers, fathers, sons, uncles, and what have you. I'm Don McDowell.
Come on, brother, I'm taking you home.
All righty, we're back. Hey, welcome to the second hour of Shake, Rattle, and Troll. We're talking a little bit about saltwater fishing, getting ready for that. We've got Captain Dave as far as in here from the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. And Captain Dave's Desert Valley Boat Training. Pretty interesting. Nice.
Thank you.
And JK here from the, let me get this right. This is the Hungarian
Gypsy Federation.
Gypsy Federation. Okay, how did it go from foundation to federation?
Foundation sounded too politically correct for Hungarians. I was talking to your brother during the week, and we were talking about the potential for urban farming and how bribes worked well with eggs and chickens and things like that. And just the determination was made that it's a federation.
All righty then. Moving right along. Okay, boating safe. We're right on the threshold of clogged lakes and waterways, and everybody bringing stuff out that hadn't run for a year. Dealing with that. How much of a presence does the Coast Guard Auxiliary have on most all of our lakes?
Right now, because of the financial straits of the government, we are starting to feel the restriction here. We have to ask permission to go to a specific lake at least 2 weeks in advance. They want 30 days notice that I want to go.
Okay, wait.
Do a safe
who
Coast Guard.
Who is they?
The United States Coast Guard.
You have to. You have. Whoa.
Okay, let me back up. I'll explain the whole thing.
Wait a minute. You have to ask permission to volunteer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I have a patrol boat. I want to go to Saguaro Lake and patrol and help people that broke down, do whatever. I do. I have to ask permission at least 2 weeks in advance, and I get what's called orders. It's orders issued by the United States Coast Guard that says David Esparza and his boat can go to Saguaro Lake and patrol from these hours to these hours on this day. It's an official U.S. Coast Guard facility at that time.
I would be destined for a very short life of volunteerism if I had to plan that far in advance.
Yeah.
That's why I have my administrative assistant over here, my fine wife June.
And her rank is
Head administrator.
head administrator. Knowing her like I do, I would say that probably would be the Interior.
Department of Interior Domestic Tranquility.
Thank you, John.
Adult supervision.
Yeah. Okay.
For most men, that's a very appropriate term.
Yes.
So you have to get permission not only once, but 2 times.
Yeah, so what I do is I tell June when I want to go at the lake, and we try to schedule it, and she puts in the computer, puts in for orders. We get the orders. We go out and we patrol.
And where does she keep the keys to the boat?
Secret place.
Oh, boy.
Uh-huh.
Yes, June is also a United States Coast Guard coxswain, so she can drive the boat as much as I can.
Wish I had a boat. Pirate boat. With salt and lime. Oh, no.
No. We don't go there. That's Mogollon.
Yes.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. So what is your biggest issue with boaters, basically, across the board? If you had to pick one issue while you're out on patrol, what are we doing wrong?
Education. People are not going out and getting educated. We said earlier we have about 160,000 boats in Arizona's waters. That's just Arizona people. Now you got people coming in from other states. You have to think about the laws that are different in California, Utah, New Mexico, wherever they've come from.
Why don't we have unilateral boating rules and regs?
They kind of are, but then there's just little glitches here and there that change it from this to that, like, age requirements for life jackets might change a little bit, things like that. Distance from another boat above a wakeless speed. In Arizona, it's 60 feet. In some of the other states, it's 100 feet, 200 feet, that sort of thing.
Oops.
Yeah. If you are within 60 feet of another vessel above a wakeless speed, it could be considered reckless operation of a boat. That's a $1,000 fine and up to a year in prison.
Wow. Is that a Class 2 misdemeanor?
No. That's
No.
felony.
Yeah. Well, a lot of boat citations are a federal offense, depending on where they're at. Especially if you're on the Colorado River, it could be considered a federal offense.
Yeah, you're in some duck soup up there.
Sure. So you're not going to see Judge Smith. You're going to go see the federal magistrate and explain to him why you were naughty on your boat. And they don't take it lightly. I was working with a boarding team last year in Lake Washington, up in Washington State, and we boarded a boat that was lacking in safety equipment, life jackets, fire extinguishers, a whole bit. And when they got done writing his tickets, they were $5,000.
Oh.
And he was sent home. So the whole day on the lake was done for everybody. He was escorted to the dock by the King County Sheriff's Department.
Nice.
So have a nice day, but do it right. We say...
Dave, what size boat does all of these requirements come with? I mean, do you have to have any size vessel?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, no, there's different classifications of boats.
Do you catch that? I use the word vessel.
Yeah,
That's
it's
pretty
good. Vessel.
My man.
Yeah.
I'm catching.
Or with the foundation, it would be Wessel.
Thank you, Dave.
Anyway, one of our sayings is boat smart from the start. Always wear your life jacket and take a boating class. Just a simple thing. Take a Saturday, come to a class, and learn what's right and learn what's wrong, and be safe on the water.
Do you see in Arizona's future a mandatory boat driver's license
They
test
have tried.
coming?
They have tried that for years, and it's always getting stalled out somewhere in the legislature type thing.
Oh, the magic of the legislature.
Way above my pay grade.
Yeah. I really think we need to do that, but
32 states now have mandatory licensing in all of Canada.
nice.
Serious?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have a boating license?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. In 32 states. In fact, I think June got a notice that because we have a boat in Washington State, that she was due to take a class to make sure that she was licensed properly.
Oh, yeah.
And then they sent me one that said, because of my age, I was exempt. And so she was giving me a hard time about that. But they did not.
Grandfathered in.
Right. I'm grandfathered in, and I'm a grandfather, so I guess that works. But the thing of it is, they didn't know she's already a master instructor with the Coast Guard and a game and fish instructor, so she's exempt from all that kind of stuff.
Crap.
Yeah, the laws are a little different there, so you got to understand. when you go to a different lake, a different city, a different state, you better check in and find out what those laws are.
How do we engage in resurrecting that piece of legislation?
Yep.
Who would have had that?
I don't know.
We need to find out the history on that, why it was rejected, what the obstacles were, and who the legislators were who
the
opposed
rumor
it.
that I had years ago was they were arguing over how to license it because the Department of Motor Vehicles wanted their cut, Game and Fish wanted their cut, that sort of thing. And what I said was, it's not rocket science, guys. I've got a motorcycle endorsement. It says M on my license. Why can't you put watercraft on the license and call it good?
Or B for boat.
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay, we've got a caller we need to address. Good morning.
Are you there, Mark?
Hello?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got it. What are you doing, man?
Oh, nothing. I just decided to call in because, I'm kind of getting the good old fast cat up and ready to go. And the way I look at it, Don, I need to be teaching boater safety. That M on the license should stand for taught by Mark.
You're kind of like I am. You're walking probable cause, and you need to take the, all seriousness, the new boating safety class. Have your boat inspected, and you will learn something about yourself that you did not know.
Well, good, because I'm learning things about myself I don't like right now. Like, when did gravity, and why is it that I can't eat anything I want without it showing up somewhere? It's just not fun. But back to the boating thing.
Thank you.
I see so much. Even still, because I went back out to the lake for the first time in a few months, and I was, along with boating safety, we really need to talk about etiquette on the water and launch ramp and how to launch and how to drive around a lake. I see kids just buzzing back and forth on jet skis with no clue, and I'm like, I'm going to be reading about you soon. And I see, these giant power boats that are going Mach 6 against the flow of traffic. And it's just,
traffic pattern, one of my pet peeves.
Yeah, me too. Last time I checked, there's no emergency brake on a boat.
Yeah.
There's not disc brakes on a prop.
Mark, hang with me. We're getting ready for a break. I want to thank Dave and his wife for coming down this morning. We'll see you on the water on Wednesday. And we'll give out some phone numbers at the end of the show, how to reach you guys and sign up for a boating safety class.
Thanks, Don.
Thanks for coming down. We'll see you on Wednesday.
All right.
Preachers preach, farmers plow.
All righty, we're back. We've got Brother Townsend on the line. Okay. So. Yeah.
First of all, how are you doing today, sir?
We're doing good, Mark. We had a long day yesterday at Cruise on Central with the Army trucks in amongst about 3,000 hot rods, and
oh, nice.
It was a day of people watching, and I'm still scratching my head. I didn't know we had so many gays downtown holding hands, and it was just like at the end of the day, I was really glad to go home to some semblance of normalcy. But having said that, there were some pretty cool hot rods down there.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. You need to make that. I know you like things that go fast, and boy, the amount of hot rods that were down there in the different styles, the old rat rods are coming back, and they're pretty cool. Anyway, you're making some valid points on boater etiquette on the water, and I want to focus especially on sharing the waterways, because we have high-performance fishing platforms that are, in the 70 to 90 mile an hour range, pretty much.
Right.
And,
and here's what prompted my phone call. Coming out of, I'll talk about the home lake here. Coming out of Honeymoon was a nice, real nice, DCB, Dave's Custom Boats. Went about 32 feet. He had the new twin supercharged Mercury's hanging off the end, and he came barrel rolling out of that thing. If he was going to shade under 90, it wasn't much.
Yeah.
Well, he blew off the traffic pattern, and he turned the wrong way instead of the right way. And coming down in the right way was a pontoon boat.
Uh-oh.
Okay? And
Yeah.
he narrowly missed that pontoon boat. And that pontoon boat, of course, he had the kids sitting up front. He had life jackets on, but their feet were dangling in the water. And, you know, he went just roaring by him. And my heart stopped. I was like, holy cow. You know, and it just, you know, I'm a very jokingly humorous kind of person, but I found no humor in that. I found no humor in that whatsoever, because had it been a split second either way, we'd have had fiberglass and aluminum puked all over that cove. And, you know, it's just, I don't think that the public is educated enough to drive the boats that are being made now, bottom line.
No.
I don't. I don't. Because anybody with good credit can go down and they can buy that boat. They can. And they've got themselves a 100-mile-an-hour death machine if they don't know how to use it. And, you know, I know it's severely limiting when I can go to the lake. I won't go on weekends. I won't go during high traffic periods to Pleasant because it's scary. I mean, bottom line, it's scary. That river's closed. That lake is small. And, I mean, these people are driving like idiots. You know, and then you take it a step further and getting to the lake, I'm seeing people tow boats in a manner that are just even scarier. I mean, you're towing a boat, and yeah, it may have brakes on it, but it takes you longer to stop. You have to keep up on your trailer maintenance. You know, where I keep my, where my shop is, there's a person in there whose bunks were completely rotted out on his boat. And I was like, are you going to fix that? And he's like, well, I'll make it to the lake a few times. That's all I need to do. And I'm thinking, okay, you're one good bump away from having fiberglass scattered all over the road. And, you know, it just, this course needs to exist. We need to teach boater etiquette, boater safety, how to run on a lake, and more importantly, what goes on when you're towing a trailer and what goes into trailer upkeep.
Well, I don't disagree with you, and I would challenge you to take the key position on resurrecting the driver's license boat issue and moving it forward.
Yeah, I'm
we can engage with some assistance, but we need somebody to take the lead on that.
Oh, done. Because, you know, I mean, in the bass fishing community, we all know Mark will jump a sandbar. Mark is good at going about 85 miles an hour, and there's nothing wrong with that. But Mark is safe. Mark has his kill switch on. Mark rolls with his life jacket. Mark inspects his trailer. Mark knows traffic patterns, knows what buoys and who to pass on the right and who to pass on the left, and all that fun stuff. Because we're going to read about somebody here again real soon, and we're not going to like it. Yeah.
Well, we have three of the most dangerous lakes in the country right here in Arizona, and unfortunately, I don't see it getting any better. But having said that, you know, right now our priorities are on the clean drain and drive protocols, trying to put a barrier at Lake Pleasant to keep the quagga mussels from going to all of our other waterways, and we're seeing some movement on that finally after 3 or 5 years of trying to educate the public on don't move a mussel. What does that mean? They still don't know what it means. 50% of them still don't get it. So it's come down to pull your plug or pay the fine. So
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm throwing my hat in the ring. Whatever you need done from my end, I'll do. But
okay.
You know, to go back out to the lake and see what I saw, I mean, it was terrifying, and it's not even hot yet.
No, but the waterways are moving up. Did you get the email on Eddie Wilcoxon that?
Yeah, that catfish.
Yeah, I know your dad's in town. Give Homer a pat on the head for me.
If you say that, because my dad's friend that passed away, Dean Despain, he's got a son my age. You're gonna love this. He's from Flagstaff. He's a DPS officer. He teaches shooting, so he fits. He fits the Shake, Rattle, and Troll profile. He is a catfish expert himself, and we've kind of already tentatively booked a trip to either Bartlett or Roosevelt because, you know, I can think of several fish that my granddad has caught that's bigger than that one.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, this came out of Bartlett Lake. This was a flathead catfish. John, wrap your head around this. Out of Bartlett Lake, 76.52 pounds, measured 53.5 inches in total length, with a 34.75 inch girth.
Yeah, that's not a catfish. That's a grouper.
That's about right.
Yeah, you know, Mark, I'm starting to share your sentiment. It is just not safe to go in the water. I don't care where in the hell you are.
No, and Bartlett doesn't have the big one. That's the scary part. There's some in Roosevelt that look at that one like a snack.
Okay, do you have anything else meaningful to add?
No. I've said my piece, but yeah, I saw that and I was like, really, dude? Really? So, hats off to him, but those fish are safe unless I'm with a Despain or my dad.
Okay, Wednesday, you need to meet JK and I up at the 10 lane about 0800. Bring the fast cat.
Okay.
We'll be there.
We'll talk on money. While I've got you, our hearts and our thoughts and prayers go out to your sister. Hope she makes her turn around real soon.
Yeah, I'm really thank you for bringing that up. Another public service announcement. Read the label on medicine, people. Is just bottom line. I mean, and pay attention, because we're lucky with my sister. For those of you who don't know, she's contracted what's called Stevens-Johnson disease syndrome. Google it. Just Google it. That's all I can tell you is Google it. And had she not been 10 minutes away from Thunderbird Medical, it would have killed her.
Game over.
Just done. Just that fast.
All right. Well, again, seriously, Mark, you guys are, extended family, and we'll definitely keep her on the prayer list.
Why, thank you. Thank you very much. You guys have a very good day.
Yeah, thanks for calling, brother. We'll look forward to seeing you in studio. Mark Townsend, folks, talking about boating safety. Woo! Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, if Mark's afraid, then there's some really legitimate reasons.
Mark's got some valid points. Traffic patterns one of them. But I want to close my thought on this 76-pound flathead. This, you make fun about ugly sticks. He caught it on an ugly stick with an Okuma 45D reel with 60-pound braid on it and an 18-inch steel leader.
Oh man. That's saltwater gear, isn't it?
Yeah. And bait of choice was a 2-pound live carp.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a chicken.
2-pound chicken?
Yeah.
I've tried to catch large catfish out of Saguaro Lake with a 40-pound test on a saltwater outfit and a half a chicken.
Serious?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's stuff down there that will break 40-pound test. And like chicken. So,
competition for me, isn't there always?
Yeah. You put JK in the hen house. Yep, he's going to have chicken for dinner every night. All right, we're going to stand down while still hunting Catherine Miller from H&M Landing. We'll give you a throw on that in the next couple of minutes. Up next, James Guggenauer, master rod builder from Rim Country Custom Rods and the local MSA report.
Pistol shots ring out in a barroom night.
All righty, we're back. Joining us now, our master rod builder, James Guggenauer from downtown Payson, where the weather is always nice. James, good morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Brother Don. Thanks for calling.
Hey, man, thanks for playing along today. What's going on up in Payson? We've got a weather front moving in. Has the wind kicked in yet?
Absolutely. Last night, between 7 and 9, I swear the wind was blowing 40 up here.
Oh.
And this morning it was calm, but it's coming up right now, and we're supposed to get winds of 30 miles an hour this afternoon.
Wow.
30's not bad. You get up into the 40s, though, and that's real tough, particularly in some of those canyons if you're up north of there.
Or on the water. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about, being on the water with 30-mile-an-hour winds. And just like you say, John, and when you get back in a cove or something, the wind just takes you away.
Yeah, it shifts you.
Yeah, I don't care who you are or what you're doing. When we have those kind of winds, it's a bad thing.
Yeah, and that's not to mention loading or unloading the boat.
I would not want to do that in Whitecaps.
Well, here's the deal, JK. Sometimes you just go find a cove and wait it out.
Really?
Yeah. James, how many times have you seen guys lose lower units trying to load their boats in the slop?
Absolutely, and I have to confess that I had my boat on the trailer one time at about a 30-degree angle, and took the option to just pull it out of the water just like it was sitting, just to be safe.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of boats, how is your boat coming along over at Sun Valley Fiberglass?
Dan doing an excellent job with that. He submitted the estimate to the insurance company last week, so we're waiting on them to make a determination. But talking to Dan, we think it's probably going to be a total, and we'll just have to wait for the insurance company to confirm that for us.
Wow. Well, that's a shame. Quick question before we get into the fishing report. Payson's got an awful lot of stuff coming up. We've got the Mongolian. Mongolian.
Don't even go there.
Wrong continent. Mogollon Monster Mutter 5K coming to town during the Mountain High Games. Now, have you entered into that yourself?
Have not entered. Been waiting to talk to you about it. This is going to be a 5K run with 34 obstacles put in the way.
Now, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told the Master Sergeant on the PT test. Master Sergeant, I ain't running 2 miles, much less 5K.
But the deal is going to be these obstacles that they're going to put. It's not bad enough you just got to run the course. You have to climb over walls and
slide through mud.
Set up in the mud.
Is there any live fire during these obstacles?
No.
It's not mentioned in there. But I can tell they're looking for teams to enter. It costs $50 to pre-register, and you can go to PaysonRimCountry.com and get all the information on this. Cameron Davis, I don't know where he comes up with these ideas for these events, but he must lay awake at night thinking this stuff up.
You know he does.
Actually, there have been several of the mud runs down here in the valley this winter. I know a few people who have gone through them, and Karen went through that this year with her daughter as a team effort, and it was one of those days where I went up into the snow, and they were doing the mud run down here, and it was like 40 degrees when they were doing it. They were shivering, they were shaking. It was terrible weather.
It's called hypothermia.
Yeah. Close to it. But it's a very unique run. Anything that has 5K in it, and then the term obstacles along with it,
and or mud,
I'm out of it.
Done.
Yep.
Well, the cool part, James, what are the dates for the mud run?
June 1st.
Okay. And the Dina Preston Band, Don Ortiz and Dina and all the guys are going to be playing a concert up there at the Mountain High Games on Saturday from 10 to 2, I believe.
Right. That's going to be a great event, and really looking forward to the Dina Preston Band. They get a lot of publicity up here, and they always do a good job. So looking forward to it. Hope everybody can make it up to Payson June.
Well, we'll definitely be up there. Now, the question I have on the Mogollon Monster Mutter 5K, is this an individual event or is this a team event?
It's a team event.
Okay. So SRT can enter a team?
So to speak, I guess you could, yeah. If you can talk JK into being our representative, I'll be on your team.
No.
Well, come on.
No.
I can do 3 of the K.
You can do 3 of the K? I'm thinking Master Sergeants Dempsey and Major.
Mike Major. I can see Dempsey being able to do it, but Sergeant Major,
Yeah,
he's going to have to work out.
Yeah, he's like, Colonel, I ain't running 2 miles.
And Don, you and I can be standing at the finish line cheering him on.
Negative on that, Ghost Rider. No.
Yeah,
if I'm doing it, Don's doing it.
No, we ain't running 5Ks.
Come on. Try it.
If I can take an ATV, the M35A2, I don't care what the obstacles are, I'm good.
By the way, James, just so you know, I've had several conversations in the past week with the McDowell Casino, and kudos to you and the people that they work with in the city. They have expressed that they always have a good thing to say about you, and that you are one of the most organized, easygoing, and well-disciplined people to work with that they've ever known. So I got that this week.
They said that about James Guggenauer?
They said that about James Guggenauer.
I will second that.
Yeah. So good job up there, James. You really do nice work.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Hey, let me tell you about bass fishing on Roosevelt Lake before we run out of time here. We're saying for the third consecutive week, some of our local anglers and tournament anglers have called the fishing excellent. And the really good news is last week, for the first time this spring, I started getting reports of bass chasing shad on the surface.
Nice.
It's lasting from sunup or just before sunup until about 8:30. And guys are running Ricos, pop bars, buff baits, and then a reaction innovation soft paddle tail bait. And those were all reported successful. And even got lucky this week. I got a couple of areas that were working really well for shad chasing in the morning. First one is Chuck Bay, which is on the Pono end, and Irwin's Cove, which is mid-lake right across from the marina. So two places that anglers can check out first thing in the morning. If you don't see bass chasing the shad on the surface, guys are still running square bill crankbaits in a SR5 to SR7 size, and they were working really good up until about 8:30 or so. After that, guys were switching over to a jig, Texas ring worms, Cincos, and drop shots. And so lots of good baits working up there. And this time of year, we're right in the middle of the spawn. And it's kind of funny, there's a lot of frustration out there, especially with the local anglers, that the water's stained to the point that they can't find those big females that they normally catch this time of year. But lots of beds and lots of females in there, just waiting for the water to clear. And it is getting better each day. Every report I get sounds like it's clearing up a little bit more.
Nice.
Salt Lake rose another % this week. We're sitting at 54% full. And just for perspective, since March 1st, the lake is up over 8 feet from in a month's time due to the couple of storms that we had here. So that's really good news. And, the Salt River is flowing at about 50% of its normal rate, but the Pono is still above 100% of its normal rate for this time of year. So, we really appreciate that water. That's gonna help all through the summer, and more water in that lake, the better. Up around Indian Point, that brush up on the tunnel end, that's going underwater now. So there's a lot of good brush to fish up in that area. Crappie fishing last week was called good.
James, I'm going to ask you to hold that. We've got to thank some of our sponsors and come back and finish that. Can you hold with us?
You bet, thanks.
Okay, more with, I want to call him Captain James, but okay, Captain James and JK. We'll be right back. All righty, we're back. James Guggenauer, our master rod builder from Rim Country Custom Rods, still on the line. Tell us about crappie fishing, James.
Yes, crappie fishing last week was called good. Not quite excellent, but good last week.
Good.
Depending on the day, I had a couple of hot spots reported this week that I wanted to get out to the listeners. The first one is around the tires at the marina. This was an interesting story. The fellow said that he was fishing on the sunny side of the tires and didn't catch a crappie, but when he moved his boat around to the shady side of the tires, he loaded the boat.
It happens.
The marine area is always good. Sally Mae Cove, a lot of guys know about this area. When you go into Sally Mae, it's on the left side towards the back. And then Dennis Perch's favorite area is down by Orange Peel on the Tono end. and he told me that good crappie bite is from Orange Peel all the way up to where the Tonto Creek enters the lake.
Well, you know what else he's doing down there? He's spotting for deer while he's fishing for crappie.
I was going to say, there's more there than that's going.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, Dennis is always on alert for any animals that are moving for sure. And now the two colors that I got this week were John Deere and a black, blue, and chartreuse 1-inch grub on a 1/32 to 1/16 ounce jig head.
Nice.
Just troll slowly and go along. The other thing is there's new bait. If guys prefer to sit and vertically fish for crappie and brush, especially since the lake's coming up now, there's a bait called a little fishy. It's a 1-inch shad-looking bait, and it can be lowered right into the brush or a submerged log right where the crappie suspend. It's a silver color, and the one that was reported successful has a blue stripe on the top. And if you're up in Tonto Basin, swing by the tackle box. They have a supply of these things, and they know all about them. The last thing this week is the Rim Lakes up here. Game and Fish is into their stocking program now. You can see the whole schedule with the Arizona Game and Fish website. Lots of stock trout getting caught. Power baits, salmon eggs, and small spinners, a size 0 blade you want on your spinners, a Metz or a Roadrunner. Those were successful this past week.
Okay, well, that's good stuff. Once again, we're able to enter a team in the Mogollon Monster Mutter.
Excellent. Looking forward to that, Don.
Okay, good stuff. Well, I appreciate you playing along today. Excellent report, as always. And one thing I want to leave you with, we've been teasing you guys and Payson about the Sasquatch sightings.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening, I think this is notable. The owners of the Pabst Brewing Company and Olympia Beer are offering a $1 million reward for what they're calling the safe return of Bigfoot. And this is a contest that will earn somebody $1 million if they have refutable evidence of some type of DNA, hair, blood, tissue, saliva, so on and so forth. So
I've got to consider the source, Pabst Brewing Company.
Or the Oxbow Saloon.
Well, Brian owns the Oxbow, so yeah. Anytime you combine alcohol and Bigfoot, you're going to get some outlandish stories. I rest my case.
It's all good.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we did put out an email to the fellow that Monsters and Mysteries that did the TV show of two of them getting hit by specific gunfire, not random gunfire, trying to get the long and the short of that and see what the DNA sampling revealed on that issue in Northern California. So,
James, I swear, and I know, Jared McFarland in a ghillie suit is Bigfoot.
You got that right. He could definitely pass for that. And I was thinking as you said that, if we put that word out to some of these Payson guys that there's $1 million, they'll come up with some type of DNA that no one has seen.
They will catch the Bigfoot. And when Jared hears this, I had nothing to do with that.
When Jared hears this, I had everything to do with it.
You got it, buddy. You're going to own this one. James, we're going to move along and get this thing wrapped up and get on with our day. God love you, and have a great week.
Thanks, brother. Talk to you soon.
All righty, James Guggenauer, master rod builder up there at Rim Country Custom Rods, dynamite rod builder, absolutely the best. Anything else to add on behalf of what was discovered at Game and Fish Commission meeting yesterday?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that the archery hunters need to be aware that the commission is contemplating a 400-yard barrier from any existing structure for hunting with archery equipment. That's the length
of a rifle range.
Well, that's it. That is the minimum requirements for a rifle range. When you're out hunting, you can't shoot 440 yards and closer, you're sightable. They're going to try and do the same thing through the Carefree Cave Creek area. That's ludicrous.
That's not happening.
No. And they had one individual come up and complain. He's got 5 acres. He does not want to fence. He does not want to post. Well, how in the heck is somebody supposed to know it's private property? I mean, there are some variables that people are going to have to take into consideration. I can understand a 100-yard barrier from private property, but if it's not posted and you own 5 acres and your house is right
How
up on
do
the...
it know?
How do you know? How do you know? We don't want to post in that
Can we
area.
introduce a motion to the commission to allow shotgun hunting within the preserve? I mean, we have dove, quail, and all
Oh, I
those
know
things.
we have all those animals, and I know that there should be.
And we have a quarter-mile
Buffer.
mandatory buffer from gunfire.
Right? It's like anything else. You know as well as I do the commission system. We certainly can take into that
There were
consideration.
a couple of meetings ago. There was 2 votes to allow shotgun hunting in the preserve.
Really?
Yes, there were.
Well, I'll tell you what. Based on what I'm
It's
seeing
2
right
out of
now,
5. You get 1 more vote. It's a majority.
well, we only got 4 on the commission now.
Ching,
Anyhow.
ching, pow. Well, we're going to have a 5th one.
It's gonna be a while.
I just don't know how that's going to develop. I don't know if can that be an emergency session appointee?
It's possible. Like anything else, we need to take this to the commission. and
Can
say,
you
"Whoa."
personally go volunteer to take that seat?
Oh, I could, and then I'd get laughed out. Yeah, I mean, just way too politically incorrect to ever sit on the commission position. However, with the mayor from Carefree and Mr. Mike Mayer trying to turn the McDowell Sonoran Preserve into watchable wildlife based on...
It already is.
I understand that. He wants it to be like it is down in Tucson.
Then move to
Thank you.
friggin' Tucson.
Well, he was bringing up to the commission the opportunity to raise over $7 million a year in excess monies because of what he's trying to do.
Where's he getting those numbers?
His numbers came from how much they charge from people going into the Tucson. They charge $10 to enter into the park. And he wants to, his thought processes was that if people are spending time in the area and coming out to see, they get more visitors, more dollars are spent. It's one of those things where, how much do we hunters contribute to the economy?
He doesn't have a clue.
Well, I understand that, but he was digging up numbers that were, quote, millions and billions of dollars. That was his newest. The bottom line in Mike Mayer is he hates hunting. He doesn't want hunting in the McDowell Sonoran Preserve. He wants everybody to leave it alone because it's in Scottsdale.
In his backyard, he is extremely delusional.
Yes.
We've got a Gizzard chat issue, guys. Email Chris Cantrell on doing something about the Gizzard chat issue, putting limits on crappie for a limited time. And thanks for listening today. We got to get out of here. JK, thanks for coming. Pat, you're doing a great job. I'm Don McDowell.
John Colazar.
Patrick McDowell.
And James in there on the board, man. You're doing an awesome job. Stay with
Way to
us.
go, James.
I got a truck and trailer, I should be parking. Well, some like to rock, some like to roll. Me and the boys like to shake